I've had many happy moments in my life, yes. I don't think being happy is a perpetual state that anyone can be in. My children give me a great deal of happiness.
Grace Kelly was the picture of elegance and charm, captivating Hollywood with her beauty and talent. In 1954, she secretly fell for married actor Ray Milland, starting a forbidden romance that risked both their careers. This hidden love story is just one chapter of her dramatic life. Join us as we uncover the highs and lows of Grace Kelly's career and personal life, from her rise to stardom to becoming a princess. Early life. Grace Patricia Kelly was born on November 12, 1929, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to a wealthy and influential family. Her dad, John, was a self-made millionaire who built his fortune with a successful bricklaying business, John B. Kelly, Inc., which became one of the largest construction companies on the East Coast. Besides being a smart businessman, John was also a top athlete, winning 3 Olympic gold medals in rowing, one in 1920 and 2 in 1924. Grace's mom, Margaret, also had an impressive background. She was the first woman to coach women's athletics at the University of Pennsylvania and encouraged her kids to be active and aim high in everything they did. Grace had 3 siblings, Peggy, John Jr., and Elizabeth, who everyone called Lizanne. The Kelly home was competitive but supportive, teaching the kids the importance of hard work, discipline, and ambition. Growing up, Grace was surrounded by culture. She went to private schools in Philadelphia, starting with Ravenhill Academy, a well-known Catholic girls' school. Though she was an average student, Grace showed early signs of artistic talent and a strong interest in performing arts. Grace's first taste of acting came during her school years. She took part in school plays and quickly fell in love with the stage. Even though her parents, especially her dad, were unsure about her interest in acting, they supported her involvement in school productions and extracurricular activities. Grace was known for her beauty from a young age. Her tall, slender figure and graceful demeanor made her stand out. As a teenager, she started modeling, which gave her some independence and built her confidence in front of the camera. This early experience in modeling helped develop her poise and photogenic qualities, which later became her trademarks. After graduating from Ravenhill Academy, Grace went to Stevens School, another private school in Philadelphia. Her grades improved, and she continued to take part in theatrical productions. In 1947, at 18, Grace graduated from Stevens School and decided to seriously pursue her passion for acting. Determined to become an actress, Grace moved to New York City. She enrolled in the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, or AADA, one of the top acting schools in the country. This move showed her commitment to a career in the performing arts. At AADA, Grace studied with experienced teachers and worked hard to improve her acting skills. She took part in many productions and gained valuable experience. Her time at the Academy was tough. She faced financial difficulties and the pressure of proving herself in a competitive environment. While studying in New York, Grace lived in a small apartment and supported herself by modeling and doing odd jobs. She appeared in ads for products like cigarettes and soap, which helped her cover her expenses. Despite the hardships, Grace stayed focused on her goal. Grace's hard work paid off when she started getting roles in TV dramas and stage productions. Her talent and dedication were clear, and she gradually built a reputation as a promising young actress. Her early TV work included appearances in live broadcasts of plays, which were popular in the 1940s. By 1948, Grace had built a solid foundation for her acting career. Her work in TV and theater caught the eye of industry professionals, and she began to receive offers for bigger roles. Her striking beauty and acting talent made her a sought-after performer. In the fall of 1948, Grace made her Broadway debut in The Father, a play by August Strindberg. Her performance was well received, marking a critical turning point in her career. This role showed her ability to handle complex characters and demonstrated her potential as a leading actress. A growing career. Grace Kelly's performance in The Father got a lot of praise and opened new doors for her. She soon appeared in another Broadway show, The Philadelphia Story. This role really showed off her skills and proved she could handle complex characters. Around this time, TV was becoming a big deal for new actors. Grace made lots of appearances on live TV shows, which were super popular then. She was on several anthology series like the Philco Television Playhouse and Kraft Television Theater. These roles helped show how versatile she was and that she could handle the pressure of live TV. Each role she took helped her improve her acting and keep her visible in the competitive entertainment world. Grace's first movie role came in 1951, but what she did in 1950 was crucial in getting her ready. That year, she signed a contract with 20th Century Fox, marking her official entry into Hollywood and a big milestone in her career. This contract showed that the industry saw her potential as a film actress. To get ready for her film career, Grace kept working on her acting skills. She took voice lessons to lose her Philadelphia accent and worked with acting coaches to perfect her technique. She was dedicated to her craft and trained hard to make sure she was ready for bigger roles in Hollywood. Even as she moved towards film, Grace didn't stop working in TV and on stage. She kept appearing in TV dramas, staying in the public eye and improving her acting. Shows like Studio One and Robert Montgomery Presents featured her in challenging roles that showed off her range. In 1950, notable performances included her role in The Rockingham Tea Set on the Philco Television Playhouse, where she was praised for her depth and sensitivity. She also starred in The Apple Tree on the Philco Goodyear Television Playhouse, showing she could handle different roles and captivate audiences. Despite her wealthy background, Grace wanted to support herself. She faced financial challenges, especially while balancing school and work in New York City. Modeling helped pay some bills, but it wasn't always enough, adding to the pressure she faced during this crucial time. Grace's parents, especially her dad, were skeptical about her acting career. They worried about the stability and respectability of showbiz. This added stress as Grace pursued her dreams, always trying to prove the legitimacy and potential success of her path. In 1951, Grace made her film debut in 14 Hours, directed by Henry Hathaway. The drama, about a man threatening to jump from a hotel ledge, featured Grace in a small role as Mrs. Louise Ann Fuller, a young woman about to get a divorce. Her performance, though brief, caught the attention of critics and filmmakers. It was a crucial step in her film career, showing she could captivate an audience even with limited screen time. Grace's big breakthrough came in 1952 with High Noon, a Western directed by Fred Zinnemann. She played Amy Fowler Kane, the young Quaker bride of Marshall Will Kane, played by Gary Cooper. High Noon was a huge success and is now seen as one of the best Westerns ever. Grace's performance was noted for its emotional depth and maturity, especially given her inexperience in film. Her role as Amy Kane, a pacifist who supports her husband in a crisis, showed her ability to deliver a nuanced and compelling performance. This role significantly boosted her profile in Hollywood, marking her as a rising star. Despite her growing film career, Grace didn't forget her roots in TV and theater. In 1951 and 1952, she kept taking roles in these areas, maintaining her presence in the entertainment industry and honing her skills. She appeared in several TV dramas, including popular anthology series like Studio One, Philco Television Playhouse, and Lux Video Theater. These roles were important in keeping her in the public eye and showing her versatility as an actress. Her continued work in live TV, with its unique demands, showed her adaptability and dedication to her craft. As Grace's career took off, her personal life and public image also came under more scrutiny. Despite this, she managed to keep a relatively low profile compared to other Hollywood stars. Grace quickly became known for her beauty, elegance, and sophisticated demeanor. She emerged as a fashion icon, admired for her impeccable style on and off screen. Her image was carefully managed to match the roles she played, often portraying her as the ideal American beauty, graceful, refined, and virtuous. This image helped her stand out in Hollywood, where keeping a certain public persona was crucial for long-term success. During this time, there were many rumors about her relationships. Grace was linked to several co-stars, but there were no confirmed serious romances. Her main focus was her career, and she managed to avoid the major scandals that often hit other stars. This discretion in her personal life helped cement her image as a poised and respectable figure. Grace faced many challenges as she moved into film. The switch from stage and TV to film required her to adapt and learn new techniques. One major challenge was the risk of being typecast. Her early roles showed her as a demure and virtuous woman. While these roles showcased her talent, they also risked limiting her opportunities to more varied characters. Grace was aware of this and worked hard to prove her range, seeking diverse roles that challenged her and expanded her skills. Moving from live TV and theater to film required Grace to adjust her acting style. Film acting needed subtler expressions and gestures, and Grace worked hard to master these techniques. She knew that success in Hollywood required continuous improvement and adaptation. Her commitment to refining her skills was clear in her performances, which grew increasingly sophisticated with each new role. Transitioning to film. In 1953, Grace Kelly's career was about to change in a big way. She landed a major role in Mogambo, directed by the famous John Ford. Grace played Linda Nordley, a young wife caught in a love triangle with characters played by Clark Gable and Ava Gardner. Critics loved her performance, and she even got nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Although she didn't win, the nomination showed how talented she was and set her up for bigger things in Hollywood. Grace kept her personal life pretty private, even though she was often in the spotlight because of her growing fame. She always appeared elegant and sophisticated, which made her even more popular with fans and the media. Despite her rising stardom, she managed to keep most details of her relationships out of the public eye, though there were always rumors linking her to some of her co-stars. Aside from Mogambo, Grace continued to work in TV, appearing in popular anthology series like Lux Video Theater and Craft Theater. These roles showed off her versatility and dedication to acting, helping to cement her place in the entertainment industry. 1954 was a huge year for Grace Kelly, marking her move from rising star to Hollywood royalty. One of the most important films of her career, Dial M for Murder, came out this year. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock, this thriller had Grace playing Margot Wendis, a woman whose husband plans to kill her. Dial M for Murder was the first of 3 movies she would make with Hitchcock, and her performance was praised for its elegance and intensity, solidifying her status as a leading lady in Hollywood. Later that year, Grace starred in another Hitchcock classic, Rear Window. She played Lisa Fremont, a fashion model who helps her boyfriend, played by James Stewart, solve a potential murder while he's confined to a wheelchair. Rear Window was a huge hit, and Grace's role was praised for its charm and depth, making it one of her most memorable performances. Taking on a very different kind of role, Grace starred in The Country Girl, directed by George Seaton. She played Georgie Elgin, the wife of an alcoholic actor played by Bing Crosby. This part allowed Grace to show a more emotional and complex side of her acting, earning her rave reviews and several awards. Her performance in The Country Girl was so powerful that she won the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1955 for films released in 1954. Winning the Oscar was a huge achievement, especially since she won over Judy Garland, who was a favorite for her role in A Star is Born. The Forbidden Love. Grace Kelly's career was on fire, but things got really messy when she got involved in a scandalous affair that had everyone in Hollywood talking. While working on Dial M for Murder, 23-year-old Grace started a romantic relationship with her 49-year-old co-star, Ray Milland. Ray, who had won an Oscar for The Lost Weekend, was a big deal in Hollywood. Despite being married, he couldn't resist Grace, and their affair quickly became serious. Ray had been married to Muriel Weber since 1932, and they had 2 kids. However, Ray had a bit of a reputation for being interested in women other than his wife, and Grace was no different. Grace's sister, Lizanne, mentioned how deep their relationship was, saying it was very serious. The couple didn't try to hide their romance, often being seen out together for dinner and drinks after filming. It didn't take long for people to notice. Gossip spread fast in Hollywood, and Muriel started getting suspicious. She confirmed her fears when she caught Ray and Grace together at the airport, planning a trip. Ray and Muriel separated, and he and Grace even talked about marriage. Grace spent a lot of time at Ray's apartment, and they seemed very close. But the affair faced major backlash. Muriel was well liked in Hollywood, and many people didn't want to see her marriage fall apart. The Hollywood community rallied around Muriel and disapproved of Grace's involvement with Ray. Public opinion turned against Grace, and she wasn't ready for the negativity. A late-night, tearful call from Muriel to powerful gossip columnist Luella Parsons only made things worse for Grace's reputation. Ray began to rethink the affair, realizing how difficult divorcing Muriel would be. Publicist Andy Hervey noted that Muriel had a lot of leverage since all their property was in her name. Facing the risk of losing everything, Ray decided to end things with Grace. Their breakup was influenced not just by Ray's realization, but also by pressure from Grace's family. Grace's dad was very unhappy about the affair. He and Grace's mom flew to Hollywood to convince her to end it, stressing how wrong it was to be involved with a married man. The gossip about Grace and Ray was intense, with even respectable newspapers covering the story. Confidential magazine, known for its juicy details, wrote about the affair in a way that deeply embarrassed Grace. Hollywood mocked her, seeing her as hypocritical for keeping a prim image while having a scandalous affair. Grace was deeply hurt by the backlash, feeling degraded by the negative press. Grace's relationship with Ray wasn't just physical. She really thought she was in love and wanted to marry him. But the affair wasn't practical, and societal norms at the time made it impossible for their relationship to continue. The scandal had a lasting impact on Grace, shaping how she viewed Hollywood and its harsh scrutiny. Despite the controversy, Grace's career kept booming. She stayed focused on her work, delivering amazing performances that secured her legacy in Hollywood. As we continue exploring her life and career, we'll see how Grace dealt with the aftermath of the affair and continued to rise as a star. A turning point. Despite the controversy in 1954, Grace Kelly's acting talent got a huge nod when she won the Best Actress Oscar for her role in The Country Girl in March 1955. This award was a big deal, solidifying her place as a top actress in Hollywood. It wasn't just a win, it was a clear sign of her versatility and skill, opening more doors for her in the industry. At only 25, Grace's Oscar win showcased her extraordinary talent and dedication, securing her spot among Hollywood's elite. 1955 was also a year of exciting film projects for Grace. One of the highlights was To Catch a Thief, directed by the legendary Alfred Hitchcock. This romantic thriller starred Grace alongside Cary Grant. Grace played Frances Stevens, a sophisticated and wealthy woman who gets involved with a retired cat burglar, played by Grant. The film was shot on location in the French Riviera, providing a stunning backdrop that highlighted Grace's elegance and beauty. The chemistry between Grace and Cary Grant was undeniable, and their performances played a big part in the film's success. To Catch a Thief wasn't just a hit at the box office, it further cemented Grace's image as a glamorous and talented actress. May 1955 marked a turning point in Grace's life when she attended the Cannes Film Festival. It was here that she met Prince Rainier III of Monaco. Their introduction was arranged during a photo session by the festival organizers. This meeting got a lot of media attention and captured the public's imagination. Their encounter sparked a whirlwind romance that would lead to one of the most famous love stories of the 20th century. Grace and Prince Rainier continued to keep in touch after their first meeting, and their relationship quickly blossomed. As their romance deepened, Prince Rainier visited the United States to meet Grace's family. This visit took place towards the end of 1955, and during this trip, Rainier proposed to Grace. On December 18, 1955, Grace accepted his proposal, and their engagement was announced publicly. The news caused a media frenzy, with the world captivated by the story of a Hollywood star set to become a real-life princess. The engagement brought immense public interest and scrutiny, with many fascinated by the fairy tale romance. Grace's engagement to Prince Rainier wasn't without its share of controversies and public scrutiny. The media and public speculated about her motives, with some questioning if she was giving up her successful career for love, or if the engagement was a strategic move for Monaco. critics debated if Grace was leaving Hollywood too soon. Despite the gossip and rumors, Grace stayed composed and focused on her upcoming marriage. She handled the public scrutiny with grace, showing her poise and strength of character. In 1956, Grace took on her final film role before retiring from acting. She starred in High Society, a musical comedy directed by Charles Walters. The film featured a star-studded cast, including Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra. Grace played Tracy Lord, a wealthy socialite whose wedding plans are disrupted by her ex-husband and a tabloid journalist. High Society was a remake of the 1940 classic The Philadelphia Story, and Grace's performance was highly praised. The film was well received and showcased Grace's versatility and charm, providing a fitting farewell to her acting career. The months leading up to Grace's wedding were filled with extensive preparations. Her marriage to Prince Rainier III was set to be one of the most extravagant and highly publicized events of the decade. Grace's wedding gown, which became iconic, was designed by Helen Rose from MGM. The gown influenced bridal fashion for generations, reflecting Grace's timeless elegance. The preparations for the wedding were meticulously planned, ensuring the event would be a grand affair fit for a princess. On April 18, 1956, Grace and Prince Rainier III were married in a civil ceremony at the Prince's Palace of Monaco. The following day, on April 19th, they had a religious ceremony at Monaco's St. Nicholas Cathedral. The wedding was a grand spectacle, attended by royalty, celebrities, and dignitaries from around the world. It was televised and watched by millions, earning the title Wedding of the Century. The event marked Grace's transformation from Hollywood star to Princess Grace of Monaco. She received a new title and role, shifting her focus from her acting career to her duties as a member of the royal family. After her wedding, Grace embraced her new life in Monaco. She adapted to her royal duties and became actively involved in various charitable activities, focusing on arts, culture, and children's welfare. Grace's transition from Hollywood to royalty was smooth, thanks to her poise and grace. She quickly became beloved by the people of Monaco, maintaining her elegance and charm in her new role. Grace's involvement in charitable work and her dedication to her new responsibilities endeared her to the public and solidified her status as a respected royal figure. Grace's departure from Hollywood got mixed reactions. Some fans and critics were sad to lose such a talented actress, while others celebrated her fairy tale romance and new life as a princess. Despite leaving the film industry, Grace remained a prominent figure in the media. Her life as a princess continued to captivate the public, and she frequently appeared in magazines and newspapers. Grace managed to balance her royal duties with her personal life, maintaining a positive public image and continuing to inspire admiration and respect. New life as a princess. After Grace's grand wedding to Prince Rainier III of Monaco, she took on her new role as Princess of Monaco. Moving from Hollywood royalty to actual royalty was a big change. She had to adjust to Monaco's customs and expectations. In her first few years as a princess, Grace learned French, got to know the royal court's protocols, and handled her new duties with elegance and dedication. Grace quickly got involved in social and cultural activities, helping to boost Monaco's global reputation. She brought her Hollywood charm to the principality, winning over its citizens. Her efforts to learn the language and customs showed her commitment to her new role, and she managed her duties with grace and poise. Grace and Prince Rainier III had their first child, Princess Caroline, on January 23, 1957. The birth of their daughter brought joy and a sense of continuity to the royal family. Just over a year later, on March 14, 1958, their son, Prince Albert, was born. Grace devoted herself to her children, balancing her royal responsibilities with motherhood. She was known for being hands-on, often seen playing with her children in the palace gardens. Their third child, Princess Stephanie, was born on February 1, 1965. The arrival of their youngest daughter completed the family. Grace's dedication to her children was clear in her involvement in their upbringing, even with the demands of her royal duties. She provided a nurturing environment for her children while managing her public responsibilities. In 1964, Grace started the Princess Grace Foundation to support local artisans and promote cultural projects in Monaco. This foundation reflected her lifelong passion for the arts and her commitment to supporting creative efforts. Grace's influence went beyond Monaco as she got involved in various charities, focusing on children's welfare, healthcare, and education. Grace's philanthropic work was widely recognized. She supported the Red Cross and started Aide Mondiale, an international group focused on protecting children worldwide. Her work in philanthropy wasn't just a royal duty, but a personal mission, showing her compassion and dedication to making a difference. Throughout the 1960s, Grace expanded her charitable activities and cultural contributions. She played a key role in promoting Monaco as a cultural hub, organizing events like the Monaco Arts Festival and supporting the Monte Carlo Ballet. Her efforts greatly boosted Monaco's cultural scene, attracting international attention and admiration. Grace's dedication to the arts also showed in the creation of the Princess Grace Awards, established after her death in 1984. These awards honor emerging talent in theater, dance, and film, continuing Grace's legacy of supporting the arts. Her influence in the cultural realm was significant, and she used her platform to promote artistic excellence. Tragically, on September 13, 1982, Grace suffered a stroke while driving with Princess Stephanie near Monaco. The car went off the road and down a mountainside. Grace was critically injured and taken to the hospital, where she passed away on September 14, 1982, at the age of 52. Her death shocked the world, and tributes poured in from everywhere. Grace's funeral, held at the St. Nicholas Cathedral in Monaco, was attended by numerous dignitaries, celebrities, and fans. She was buried in the Grimaldi family vault, and her legacy continues to be celebrated through the Princess Grace Foundation and other charitable works. Grace's impact on the world goes far beyond her years as a Hollywood star and a princess, despite the controversies she's been in.